What if I told you that every man you know, including yourself, is already in a fight? Not with fists or weapons, but with the world, with chaos, with time, with weakness, and sometimes with himself. Now here's the unsettling truth. Most men don't even realize they're in a fight until it's too late. Before we dive into today's deep and gripping topic, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what we discuss here might just wake something inside you. A side of masculinity they've tried to make you forget. Now let me ask you a question. When was the last time you felt like a warrior? Not metaphorically. I mean truly prepared, physically, mentally, financially, to defend what's yours, to protect, to provide, and to stand tall in a collapsing world? If your answer is vague or silent, then this episode is for you. Let's begin. The modern man has been sedated, numbed by screens, pacified by comfort, and lied to by the very society that once depended on his strength. We're told that fighting is barbaric, that aggression is outdated, that a man's job is to be nice, compliant, quiet. But the truth, the raw, unfiltered truth, is that the world still rewards strength. It still respects power. And it still bows to those who know how to fight. Not just with their fists, but with their minds, their bank accounts, and their will. Picture a man walking down a dark street. He hears footsteps behind him, fast, deliberate, closing in. His heart races, his pulse quickens. In that moment, he doesn't need philosophy. He doesn't need politics. He needs to know how to fight, to protect himself, to be dangerous, but disciplined, trained, capable. Now zoom out. That same man wakes up the next day, checks his bank account, and finds himself trapped, overdrawn, buried in debt, drowning in responsibilities no one taught him how to face. He's not being mugged in an alley anymore. He's being mugged by life. And once again, he doesn't need sympathy. He needs strategy, skill, financial awareness, the power to fight back in a system designed to break the unprepared. Two worlds, same battlefield, same man. What does it mean, really, to be a man who knows how to fight? Let's start with the physical. Historically, men were protectors because they had to be. From Spartan warriors to samurai to tribal guardians, a man's role wasn't abstract, it was immediate. He fought wild beasts, invaders, nature itself. But today we fight different monsters: anxiety, apathy, weakness, laziness. And although the jungle has changed, the law of survival hasn't. You are either prepared or prey. Consider the story of Theodore Roosevelt. Before he was president, he was a sickly child. Weak lungs, frequent illness, a soft voice. But one day his father sat him down and told him something that would change everything. Theodore, you have the mind, but you have not the body. You must make your body. That day, young Roosevelt began a journey into boxing, hiking, and physical toughness that forged him into one of the most formidable leaders of his time. The world didn't hand him strength. He built it with his fists, sweat, and grit. That's not toxic masculinity. That's earned masculinity. Now take that same mindset and apply it to your finances. Society doesn't teach young men how to build wealth, navigate taxes, or create generational security. Instead, it offers distractions, credit cards, subscription traps, flashy brands designed to rob you of your freedom. And let me tell you this, financial dependence is modern slavery. You might not be wearing chains, but if you can't walk away from a job you hate, can't move your family to safety, or can't afford to say no, you're not free. You're owned. And the worst part? No one's coming to rescue you. A man who can't fight for his finances will forever live at the mercy of those who can. Now, I'm not telling you to be paranoid. I'm telling you to be prepared. A man who learns to fight physically doesn't walk around starting fights. He walks with peace because he knows he can end them. A man who knows money doesn't flaunt it. He uses it as a shield against the chaos of the world. Think about Mike Tyson, one of the most feared fighters in history. But do you know why he lost it all? It wasn't in the ring, it was in the bank. He was trained to knock men out in seconds, but no one trained him to manage millions. His downfall wasn't physical, It was financial. And that's the silent killer most men never see coming. Fighting is about control, self-control, control of your space, control of your future. And the man who lacks control lives in fear. That fear shows up in subtle ways. The hesitation to speak up, the inability to leave toxic relationships, the excuse-making, the quiet resentment building inside. Every time you say, "I can't," what you're really saying is, "I never learned how to fight this." But here's the truth that should shake you awake. You can learn. Every man can. And you must. Because your future family won't care how nice you are if you can't keep them safe. The world won't reward your intentions. It will test your preparation. You don't need to become a street brawler or a Wall Street tycoon overnight, but you need to start training like your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. They'll call it overkill. They'll say you're too intense. They'll laugh at your budget, mock your lifting schedule, roll their eyes at your refusal to spend on useless things. But let them laugh, because when the storm comes, and it always does, they'll come looking for men like you. Men who are stable, skilled, sharp, fighters. And fighting isn't just for when you're threatened. Fighting is what allows you to grow. When you wake up at 5 a.m. and your body screams to sleep but you train anyway, that's a fight. When you choose to save instead of spend, that's a fight. When you resist the easy road and build something meaningful, that's a war. And every day, every rep, every dollar saved, every temptation resisted is a battle won. But the most dangerous man in the world? He's not loud. He's not showy. He's the quiet one. Calm, controlled, prepared. Because he doesn't just know how to fight, he knows when not to. But here's where it gets personal. You weren't born a warrior. You were born with the potential for war. And unless you answer that call, you will become what the world wants. Soft, compliant, forgettable. So ask yourself this. What kind of man do you want to be when the test comes? Because it will. Imagine your son asking you one day, "Dad, what did you do when life got hard?" What will you tell him? That you crumbled? That you waited for help that never came? Or will you say, "I trained, I fought, I learned, I led"? Because one day your children, your partner, or even your community will look to you, not for advice, but for action. And in that moment, all your training, every fight you chose to take on, will matter. Let me take you to a scene from World War II, the beaches of Dunkirk. Surrounded by enemies, thousands of young men, most barely into adulthood, faced death with no guarantee of rescue. Some were trained soldiers, others weren't. But in that moment, whether they lived or died wasn't just about bullets, it was about will, resolve, brotherhood. The primal instinct to fight, not just to survive, but to deserve survival. History doesn't remember those who waited. It remembers those who fought. Now fast forward to today. Our battles aren't waged with rifles or tanks. They come in the form of rent increases, layoffs, mental burnout, broken relationships, emasculated identities, and a constant assault on anything that resembles masculine strength. You're expected to be gentle but also firm, sensitive but never weak, stoic yet emotionally available, provider yet never dominant. What they're really saying is, be everything and nothing. But a man who knows how to fight never gets lost in that noise, because he knows the truth. Life is not fair, and no one is coming to save him. That's not cynicism. That's clarity. And clarity is what creates power. Let's go back to financial warfare. You see, financial literacy isn't just a skill, it's armor. When you don't understand how money works, you are vulnerable to everything. Inflation eats your savings. Debt strangles your future. Bad investments cripple your dreams. And worst of all, someone else will decide your fate. Your landlord, your boss, the tax system, the economy. But when you learn to fight financially, how to earn, save, invest, and protect what you build, then you walk through life on your terms. You think Warren Buffett became a billionaire because he got lucky? No. He trained every single day, reading financial reports, studying market behavior, learning how to control risk. That's fighting. Quiet, patient, disciplined combat with numbers. You may never want to be a billionaire, but you better want to be free. Because freedom is the ultimate masculine prize, and no man is truly free until he learns to fight for it. And here's where the emotional part hits. Many men walk around carrying pain they never express. Trauma, rejection, shame. They were never taught to fight it, so it festers. It makes them bitter, passive, addicted, hollow. But when a man learns to fight, not just with muscles or money, but with mindset, he learns how to transform pain into purpose. He learns that he can bend, but he won't break. He learns that no failure is final if you're willing to get back up. Fighting is how men heal. In ancient warrior cultures, from the Zulu to the Vikings to the samurai, boys became men through rites of passage. Trials, hardship, isolation, combat. They weren't hazed, they were hardened. Because the elders knew, a man who has never suffered cannot lead. And in today's world, those trials still exist. They just look different, but the need is the same. You must choose your hardship. Train your body not just for aesthetics, but for function. Learn a martial art not just to win fights, but to walk with dignity. Study money not just to get rich, but to never be controlled again. These are the modern rites of passage, and no one will hand them to you. So what happens if you don't? The cost isn't obvious. At first, everything seems fine. Until one day your boss fires you, and you panic. Your car breaks down, and you have no savings. Your girlfriend leaves, and you collapse. That's when you realize you've been unarmed in a war zone your whole life. And here's the hard pill. Men without the will to fight eventually become burdens to the people they love. Now let's flip that. Imagine instead, you are the man who's ready. You've trained your body. You've built a solid financial wall. You've hardened your mind. Now when crisis hits, you don't flinch. You lead, you act, you protect. That's when real masculinity shines. Not when life is easy, but when hell breaks loose and you remain unshaken, and others will notice. Your presence will feel different. Doors open. People listen. Women feel safer. Men respect you. Not because you talk loud, but because you walk heavy. That's the silent power of the man who knows how to fight. So what do you do now? You start. Right now. Start small, but start daily. Sign up for boxing. Download a budgeting app. Begin a side hustle. Hit the gym. Read one financial book a month. Track your spending. Carry yourself with the seriousness of a man preparing for battle. Because that's exactly what you're doing. And remember, the world doesn't need more nice guys. It needs good men. Strong men who are dangerous but disciplined. Who can fight but choose peace. Who lead not with ego, but with purpose. So ask yourself this. If you were tested tonight, would you survive or would you surrender? Because in the end, you will either master the fight or be mastered by it. Thank you for watching. If this message stirred something inside you, don't let it fade. Act on it. Become the man the world forgot it needed. And if you're ready for more content that challenges you to level up in every aspect of your life, physically, mentally, financially, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with another man who needs to hear it. Remember, comfort is a slow death. Choose the fight.